Disney has finally announced Descendants 4, but this announcement has pissed off some members of the OG cast, including Dove Cameron. Dove has been the leading lady in the Descendants franchise so far, and fans can't imagine a movie without her, but she doesn't seem to be anywhere in the new cast of Descendants 4. It has left the fans wondering if the creators and Dove are actually in a disagreement, and as it turns out, it's really not so good. Dove Cameron wasn't completely on board with the new movie. Part of the reason was the sudden passing of Cameron Boyce, who played Carlos in the first 3 movies. Dove was heartbroken because of Cameron leaving only at the age of 20. The trauma was so much for her to handle that she never wanted to work in a new movie without Cameron again. She has said it multiple times that it would be really hard for the whole cast to go back to the set of Descendants after Cameron's sudden end, because it just wouldn't be the same. And they're not wrong, as going back to the same place would bring back so many memories for them, and it would be really painful to try and heal from all that trauma.
Most importantly, I think it would be unbelievably difficult to do it without Cameron. Like, I don't think we'd be up for it.
Right.
Fast emotionally.
She even had some thoughts about the release of Descendants 4, and she addressed them by saying, "I think that the idea of making another movie, while it would be nostalgic for all of us and while it would be healing in a lot of ways, it might also be wrong." The fans agree with Dove and think that another Descendants movie isn't the ideal decision, but the creators can't really shut down the whole franchise. Her previous statements and interviews about a new movie clearly suggest that she isn't very happy with the recent announcement from Disney. She even said at one instance that she isn't fond of the idea to do Descendants 4 without Cameron, and this is why she isn't part of the new movie. And now that the 4th installment is officially in the works, it's also receiving a lot of criticism from fans of the franchise, because a lot of people think that the new movie will never be the same without Cameron Boyce. Dove was even thinking that the creators would never try to make another Descendants movie after Cameron, because almost the whole main cast wasn't ready.
Dove, will there be a Descendants 4? This was a very popular question, Dove.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
But she didn't know that they would move forward with the new movie without them and make a spin-off with a different story and cast. In addition, Dove didn't want to be part of Descendants 4 because she was very fond of Cameron, and they had the best time together during the shoots, so it would have brought back a lot of memories for her.
Cameron's really next level, and you can see his charisma and his soul in everything that he does, so yeah, anytime he's on screen.
Plus, they were really good friends, so working in the new movie without him was completely out of the question. Dove said in an interview,
"You know, it's like working with your family or like a really close friend. It's like it's the most bizarre experience."
It wasn't easy to move on after what happened to Cameron Boyce, as they were all really close and no one from the main cast never really thought that Disney would actually make another movie, especially after Kenny Ortega, the director of Descendants, talked about how difficult it was for them to hear the news.
I'm 69 years old, been alive long enough to have witnessed some pretty tough stuff. This was as tough as it gets.
In fact, according to reports, Kenny might not be taking over his responsibilities as the director in the new movie either. It's being said that Jennifer Fang will be directing Descendants 4, and she's also the executive producer, so it looks like the new movie is going to take a complete turn from its original narrative, style and approach. Reports are that Kenny decided not to be part of Descendants 4 because of Cameron, as he couldn't continue the same story anymore. Plus, if they continued without his character, there would have been severe continuity issues, and the story would have never made sense without Carlos in it. It might be the reason why Jennifer Fang took over. Moreover, Cameron leaving this world so soon wasn't just painful for people who knew him, but also for the audiences, and that's why Dove thought that it's not fair for the viewers to not see him in the new movie. Also, it's been really hard for the whole cast to heal from Cameron's loss, and they decided not to be part of Descendants 4 out of respect for Cameron.
We've all just have really been there for each other. The cast, or just everybody who knew Cameron, has come even closer, and it's been a very special thing.
Apart from all of this, Dove thinks that there's no point of continuing the same story in the new movie with the same cast. She said, "I don't think it would be the same without the whole original cast. It would just be different now. And also, we did it. We told the full story. We completed it." This pretty much sums up what Dove thinks about the new movie, as she's not been a huge supporter of Descendants 4, and she's been saying for quite a while now that a new movie wouldn't be the best idea. The creators might try and make the the audiences forget about the OG cast by introducing new faces, but according to the fans, it's really not going to work. One thing that the creators have done right is that they've introduced new characters instead of recasting the old ones, which is a very dignified move on their part, because anyone, including Dove, wouldn't like to see someone else playing Carlos in Descendants. In fact, Dove has still not gotten over the huge loss, and it still hurts her the same.
It's all feels very fresh.
There's a chance that the creators approached her for the new movie because Dove obviously would be their first choice, mainly because she's been with the franchise for so long, and her fans genuinely want to see her in the new movie. But Dove probably said no, because she had already said in the past that she considers another movie super wrong. So Dove has made it pretty clear for a while now that a new Descendants movie is out of the question for her, and even if it is made, she won't like to work in it. Some fans think that Dove might make an appearance in Descendants 4, or we might see a cameo from her, but judging from her statements against the movie, that seems very unlikely. And Dove isn't the only one who didn't want to work in the new Descendants movie. A lot of other members of the main cast thought that they preferred how things ended in the third movie, and if they continued the same plot in the fourth movie, things would feel a little stretched. Sarah Jeffrey, playing Audrey in the movies, was one of those members who thought that she had her happy ending and wouldn't want to change it or stretch it out. She's actually happy for how things ended for her character.
I feel really happy with where I left things in that world. I think they put a nice button on it, and
This might be the reason why Sarah isn't in Descendants 4, and she feels like her character has already completed her character arc, and dragging it further would just not make sense. So she's now moving on to other projects, and she's definitely not hungover on the franchise. A lot like Sarah, Brenna D'Amico, playing Jane in the movie, is also really happy for how things ended with her character. She doesn't want to revisit the same story again, and just loves the fact that her character got the closure it needed.
I think I really loved how and where Jane's storyline ended, and who it ended with, and who was around her.
In addition, Sophia Carson, who played Evie in the movies, is also not a part of Descendants 4 because she isn't in favour of making a new movie either. Almost the whole main lead of the original franchise didn't want the creators to go on with a fourth movie, but the creators did take their time, cancelled most events around the loss of Cameron, and paid their respects. However, Descendants is such a huge franchise that just closing it down would be foolish. So in the fourth movie, they're coming with a spin-off of the original movies, where the plot and actors are all new. Although China Anne McClain, playing Uma in the original movies, is the only one of the few cast members who's coming back for the new movie, and isn't being apologetic about it either. She'll reprise her character in the movie and would most probably be a baddie yet again. Descendants 4 has been receiving a lot of criticism lately, but some people are still very happy that the franchise goes on, because there are still so many characters that they could further explore. But in the new movie, the focus will mainly be on Red, the daughter of the Queen of Hearts, and Chloe, the heir to Cinderella and Prince Charming. So the creators have it all figured out for Descendants 4, and it's already in the making. The movie is most likely going to be released by mid-2024, and only then will we be able to actually tell if Dove boycotted the franchise or if there was a secret cameo from her all along. So, what are your thoughts about Descendants 4? And do you agree with Dove Cameron? Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Descendants updates, and thanks for watching. Bye guys!